Lists are usually trash. Most channels rank for clicks, not truth. Here's our attempt to do this honestly. Top 5 ranked, cited. The NIH Total Funding Leaderboard, published each February by the Blue Ridge Institute for Medical Research, is a size metric. It rewards scale. Johns Hopkins and Harvard sit near the top partly because they are enormous institutions with enormous faculty roles. Per principal investigator capture is the metric that controls for that. In FY24, the Blue Ridge Institute tracked $37.2 billion in NIH extramural funding across approximately 45,200 principal investigators, a national average of roughly 823,000 per funded PI. 5 schools beat that number in ways that reveal something about how they've built their research cultures. In fiscal year 2023, Washington University School of Medicine ranked second in the nation for total NIH funding, pulling in $583.6 million across 684 funded investigators. Their average NIH capture per principal investigator aimed 53,000. That figure comes from WashU's own published analysis of Blue Ridge Institute data. More interesting than the number is what leadership chose to do with it. In 2016, the per PI figure was 757,000. Dean David Perlmutter launched a strategic initiative that year specifically targeting per investigator growth. Over 7 years, they grew it by nearly 100,000, a 12.7% increase per investigator. Most research universities cannot tell you their own per PI number. Washington University tracked it as a key performance indicator, set a target, and published when they hit it. Rockefeller University has 81 heads of laboratories. That is its entire faculty. No undergraduate programs, no business school, no humanities departments. Just 81 independently funded research groups in biochemistry, cell biology, neuroscience, and immunology. In FY24, and direct awards to Rockefeller totaled approximately $69.4 million across 129 grants, per the NIH Research Portfolio online reporting tool. Divided by 81 investigators, roughly 857,000 per principal investigator, nearly identical to WashU's confirmed figure. What is different is the denominator. At Rockefeller, every member of the faculty holds NIH grants. There is no pool of non-research faculty diluting the count. When Rockefeller's per PI equals at 857,000, that figure represents the productivity of the entire institution, not just its funded subset. Baylor College of Medicine captured $319 million in NIH funding in FY24, ranking 20th among U.S. medical schools in total funding. That ranking underrepresents the per PI story. BCM has no undergraduate programs. Its entire research enterprise is biomedical research and clinical medicine. 12 BCM departments ranked in the national top 30 for NIH funding by department in FY24, including the Department of Molecular and Human Genetics at number 1 nationally. An institution where the genetics department leads the country and the research enterprise has no biomedical dilution produces per investigator capture above the national average. BCM does not publish a formal per P figure, but the Blue Ridge Institute department rankings, 12 top 30 finishes from a 20th ranked institution overall, are consistent with per investigator estimates well above a 900,000. Vanderbilt School of Medicine ranked 5th in the nation in total NIH funding for fiscal year 2024 at $586 million, an 11% increase from the prior year. The school's own announcement credited over 500 NIH-funded researchers. That combination produces a specific number. 586 million divided by 500 investigators equals 1.17 million per principal investigator, roughly 42% above the national average. Even accounting for imprecision in the investigator count, Vanderbilt's per PI figure runs well above comparable total funding peers. Part of the explanation is structural. Vanderbilt's research portfolio leans heavily on large program project grants, multi-investigator PO1 awards in cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and biomedical informatics, which pull the per investigator average upward because fewer investigators are dividing a larger total. UCSF School of Medicine received $726 million in NIH funding in fiscal year 2024, the top funded medical school in the country that year, and the top NIH award recipient among all U.S. public universities for more than a decade running. According to the Blue Ridge Institute, UCSF enrolls no undergraduates. There is no business school, no law school, no college of arts and sciences. Every department exists to advance biomedical research or clinical education. Research active investigators in the medical school number in the hundreds, nearly all holding NIH awards. Distributing $726 million across an estimated 600 research active principal investigators implies PI capture above 1.2 million, roughly 46% above the national average. The estimate is uncertain. The structural logic is not UCSF has no institutional mechanism for diluting its research density. Pull back. Total funding rankings measure scale. PI capture measures productivity, which research cultures demand that every investigator carry their weight. The road to a top PI number looks different at each of these 5 schools. Tracked KPIs at WashU, structural concentration at Rockefeller, departmental density at BCM, large program grants at Vanderbilt, pure institutional design at UCSF. None of those outcomes are accidental. If you'd rank these differently, the comments are open and bring evidence. Until next time.